You just uploaded a video and 3 hours later, 26 views, and 6 hours later, 77 views. And by the end of the day, it's at 182 views, and you throw your phone or you slam down your laptop and you think, am I shouting into the void? Why is this even worth it? Does that sound familiar? I'm just going to be that kindly voice that shows the other perspective on this. With those views, you filled a local concert hall. You drew a bigger crowd than what a lot of bands perform in front of. And honestly, you commanded more attention at once than most people have the opportunity to do in their whole lifetime. But instead of celebrating, you feel disappointed. And instead of feeling accomplished, you feel defeated. I understand. Instead of recognizing the wonderfulness of human connection that you facilitated with that, it's far more easy to think, well, this didn't take off. This didn't go viral. I don't know why I'm doing this. And it's really easy to feel completely inadequate. Believe me, I understand. Today, I think we have a chance to revolutionize how we are thinking about this question by coming at it from two very different but important angles. Because that number isn't just a metric to chase, it represents a room full of real, living, breathing human beings. And more importantly, it represents the amount of individual lives that you've had the opportunity to touch. So by the end of this video, I hope we both never really look at analytics the same way again. Hey, I'm Diane, I'm in my mid-50s, and I've started this YouTube channel to help my fellow folks who are over the age of 40 to have an opportunity for greater impact and hopefully an accompanying opportunity for greater income as we reach those all-important retirement years. And I really think having a YouTube channel is an excellent way to do that. So let's start with a reality check that might help to change our perspective on this issue. What if 200 people showed up in your yard within the next hour? You'd be scrambling for chairs. You'd be like, well, maybe I need to get a microphone. All your neighbors will be looking out the window going, what's going on? Now, you post a video and it gets 200 views and you're like, well, what the heck? And you feel disappointed. But 200 views, that's a sold out movie theater. 500 views is a big high school auditorium that's filled to the brim. 1,000 views, well, welcome to concert hall level, where touring musicians play and where symphony orchestras are going to perform. Lots of Broadway theaters have around 1,000 seats, and you just filled it to the brim. 2,500 views? Well, local news would cover an event that size. 5,000 views? Well, now we're getting serious in terms of capacity. You're filling major venues now. Think about big conference centers and the kind of spaces where professional speakers come and they're paid a lot of money to do so. This is where TED Talks take place. 10,000 views? Oh, well, a lot of people wouldn't consider that viral, but 10,000 views means you packed out a pretty significant sized arena, a city's main sports venue, where major concerts happen and professional teams come to play. The parking lots are full, the concession stands are going crazy, and people are taking pictures because they want to remember this night. 25,000 views? Well, if we get there, that's approaching stadium territory, the kind where famous musicians come to play and where political rallies are held. If you fill somewhere with 25,000 people, that's the kind of thing that makes national news. Now, here's what's absolutely mind-blowing. Think of the average person and the opportunities that they have to be able to speak to people at one time. Most people on this earth are not going to have the opportunity to do that with more than 50 people at a time. Now, many people never want to be put in that opportunity, but think about the influence you can have with one video and the opportunity to reach more and more people than what you might think it really is. We're always tempted to feel disappointed because it didn't go viral. Now, I want you to try and think of something right now. Think about the last significant event that you attended. Maybe it was a wedding that had 100 or 200 people that came. Or maybe a work conference and it has 50 or 100 people. Or maybe your child's graduation ceremony where maybe there was several hundred or even maybe a couple thousand people there. Now look at the view count on your last few videos. I mean, really look at it. And think of it in context of those places where you were and the events that you were attending. Maybe some of the most significant events in your life that you were part of a crowd, you still had your video being seen by more people than that. But here's where I think a lot of YouTubers can make a critical error, myself included. We see 273 views on a video, and it's just angering because we're thinking about it in abstract. We're not thinking of the 273 people who made a choice to spend part of their day watching the content we create and hopefully having their lives affected in a positive way by it. If we were standing on a stage and talking to that same amount of people, we'd prepare. We'd have notes. We'd probably be shaking in our shoes a little bit because we're nervous. And we'd have a greater sense of what we are saying because we're seeing it in context. I want to challenge you today to think about your YouTube videos in that same respect. Now, here's the twist. And I know it's hard to do with social media in general because it can feel like it's all about what people refer to as vanity metrics. It's about recognizing the reality that exists behind those numbers. If a video of yours or mine gets 200 views, it's still 200 minds, 200 hearts, 200 lives that intersected with our message. I don't think we need 1 million subscribers to be influential. Nothing near that. We need clarity, we need consistency, and I think we really need to have that authentic desire to connect with the person watching. I want to connect with you. Okay, that might have been a little creepy. I won't say it like that anymore. But while it's crucial to understand the contextual scale of our impact, it's even more important to realize what every single one of those views represent. And I'm finding that as I think about this, it's helping me to address my analytics in a different and I think a healthier way. And it's helping me to change my approach with every single video that I'm making. When we think in context of all the numbers as in being in a venue and being in a crowd, that's encouraging, but it's more important for us to think of what every single person in that seat represents. What every single person who's watching this video in their car, in their living room, on their TV, lying in bed when they can't sleep and watching it overnight. It all represents a person. It all represents a person who's reaching out and hitting that click because they want to see if this video offers something to them. And I really hope this one does. And in reality, that individual, that one person, has the potential of having their lives affected by what you say next. I think we really have to retrain our minds as content creators that every person watching is not a statistic, they're a soul. And all of us have the potential to have our lives changed by the right message, by the right communicator at the right time. So let's take a shift into the practical of ways that we can help to have our videos reflect that, to help our videos really connect in that way. So when I'm speaking, you really feel like I'm talking to you. Was that less creepy? Okay, number 1, start every video project by thinking of a person who would be the perfect person to view this video. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody that you know necessarily. You can sort of just take parts of what you're saying and put them together to create a persona. In marketing, we call that an avatar of a person who would be the one, if you feel like if they're going to get the most from what I'm saying, here's that person. So have that person in mind when you are coming up with your ideas, when you're writing out your scripts, when you're editing and how you want your video to be portrayed. Have the right person in mind and feel like you're always creating and making the videos for them. This video can encourage them. It can educate them. It can show them things that they've never thought about before. It can help them move ahead in a place where they feel stuck. Number 2, and I really want to encourage you in this one because I see this a lot and I think it's a very natural thing to feel like, oh, well, I want a lot of people to watch my video, so I feel like I want to talk to a lot of people at one time. Nope, actually, the complete opposite is true. Try to rein yourself in from saying things like, hey guys, hi everyone, hope everyone's doing well. You're talking to one person. You're talking to one viewer. Make them feel like they're the only person you're having this conversation with, because it's a little weird if you feel like someone's talking to you in plural and they're on the couch in their living room by themselves and they're like, okay, it's just me. Take away that group context in how you're communicating. Always be sure that you're speaking to your perfect viewer, to the individual. And number 3, if you have the way that you can take this persona, but then also try and personalize it. So when you're speaking, especially, you feel like you're sitting across the table from a friend and speaking to. I know that can be hard when you're coming up with the content and so forth because you really want it to go to your perfect viewer. But when you're speaking, it helps you to feel more natural. It helps you to feel like, okay, this is just a conversation I'm having with my friend. That takes away the nerves. It takes away some of the, I have to be a performer in this. And it just helps you to be a more natural communicator with the one person that you're sharing this message with. This helps you become more relatable, and it helps you to become more personal because you're not auditioning, you're not putting on a performance here, you're serving, you're sharing. But in the bigger context of that, when we are speaking authentically, when we are speaking to that one person, YouTube is still going to do its magic in the background and help that message go to a bigger audience. So even though you're speaking to one, it figures out those right best persons who are going to possibly and hopefully benefit from your message and then hopefully continue to view as you put out more content. In short, that's the power you have. That's the opportunity that lies before us with every video that we make. When we sit down to create, don't let the algorithm and what I have to do to make it happy be foremost in your mind. The one thing we should be thinking about is the one person who's watching the video at that one time. If one person watches your video and feels more equipped, more understood, more hopeful, isn't that worth it? And the beauty of YouTube is it can share it with many more people than just one, but keep the one singularly in your focus. When that happens, I think you're really going to feel like you're building something that matters. And hey, if you're still watching at this point, I hope you really feel like I was talking to you and not a group, because I want you to have more opportunities to grow on YouTube. I want you to feel more confident, and I want you to feel like what you're saying really matters. And hopefully this equips you a little bit better to just be able to do that in a contextual way and in a personal way. Hey, I really appreciate you watching. I'd love if you'd subscribe so we can keep on talking. And I think this would be an excellent video for you to be able to watch next.